to do some catching up in my April pages, both in my 5-year journal and in my daily pages. And I have some entries in my 5-year journal, but I had a few things that just needed some little bit of watercolor touch that I hadn't had handy when I'd been journaling. I usually do this is like I'll do right before bed, and so I didn't have my paints handy, so I just had places left to, like, especially this little scene here. I'd drawn the scene of the day, and it just needed some watercolor filled in. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just catching up those watercolor parts on these entries in my 5-year journal. I have to say it took me a while to get brave enough to even add in these little extras in my 5-year journal, because I kept thinking I've got 4 more years of entries after this. I don't know what I'm going to want to do for those. But then I decided that once in a while, or in theory like a fifth of the time, it'd be fine to use up the page. I still haven't really brought myself to use up the entire page, but I have given myself a more leeway. I've also let myself, like, the illustration can be as important part of the entry as the writing, so I don't know that I've got pages where I didn't write at all, but also I'm letting myself use illustration as part of the communication along with just words. When I started, I just did writing and not much else, and now I'm just freeing myself up a little bit in this journal and kind of just having more fun with it, more play. Now I'm pulling out my Hobonichi Day Free, where I do my daily pages, and my goal is for today is to just get something down on every day for the first half of the month. I have barely anything done for April, so at this point, so I am just trying to get a good start on that. So I have this bunny sticker that was from my sticker club Patreon people got, and then I am putting down April for one of my digital pages. I did a magazine harvest earlier, which I have not posted yet. I will be posting that sometime soon. And so these strips that I'm putting on these 2 pages are from that, and the numbers are from my April Patreon sheets. So I'm using those. This pencil in sketch letters and sketch here was all that I had done at all so far in April in here, and so I'm going ahead and getting that illustration painted in and finished up, and just kind of going from there. So not a lot of pressure here as I work on this, because I'm not even trying to finish any pages. So just getting down what I know to get down. I have some things from that magazine harvest that I know I want to stick in, and just kind of going from there. This little floral is also from my April pages. I had kind of a strong floral theme, a lot of florals in April sheets. And then I'm going on to some of those magazine cuttings that I had saved. One thing that I tend to do when I'm catching up like this is use larger illustrations. So I know I'm not going to, it's a like extra busy time for me. This was a rough couple of weeks. I'm not going to go back and get everything written down that I was doing or everything that was going on. I just kind of want a representative smattering. And so I am using some bigger illustrations than I normally would. I found some things in my magazine harvest that work well, so I'm just going to go ahead and get those in. This little rag bunny is from also from my Patreon sheets, as are the day of the week stickers. Now I do mess up on the days of the week. For one thing, I totally skipped Sunday. The page before this was Saturday. I totally skipped Sunday. I'm not going to go back and fix that. April 3rd just did not actually happen in this journal. So that's okay. Those things happen. But I did realize I missed the day, but I didn't adjust the dates accordingly. So I will have to do that later. These dates are by Loveland's Life, and I really love them, even though I'm putting the wrong date down here. But she does really a great job with her dates, I think, especially. So I like using those. And this is, it's kind of fun. We had a vehicle in the shop that we had to get picked up before our show this weekend. It was bus to our bus, and we needed it to go to the art show. So we got it picked up from the shop, and the place that was nearby to eat was Kentucky Fried Chicken, which we hadn't been to for a long time. My husband, unprompted, saved the sack and stuff for me, which was pretty fun. That he, I didn't even ask him. He just saved that, threw the rest of it away just automatically. So I, of course, had to use it then in my journal. I'm doing a lot of outlining here with my micron pen. It just kind of makes things stand out, be a little more bold and graphic. So I'm taking a little time to do that. These dates are by Pocket Journal Pam, and love those little color swatch dates. Still going with the wrong days here, but that's okay. I'll get caught up eventually. Putting on some, I thought I'd write about some audiobooks that I've been listening to, so that's the headphones I thought could be handy for that. The 7 was cut out of a magazine, as was, again, here I'm using just kind of a large illustration. I thought it was a good illustration for the day. So it was worth, taking up the space. It'll just make it easier for me to get caught back up again. The little character that I'm cutting out is by Pocket Journal Pam. So I'm just kind of sticking it up there, just kind of filling in pages. I'd saved this picture of a tree. My art show was at an arboretum that had these beautiful old trees, and so the art show was 2 days, so I know I'm going to have place to journal, on the next day of the art show. So this day is just kind of mostly filled in with this tree image that I really liked. And that's one thing I love about just this idea of daily journaling. It can be whatever you need it to be. There's no rule that says I need to record every event of the day. That's up to me. There's a lot of freedom in this, and I don't want to back myself into a corner where I feel like this is the formula I have to follow each and every day in my daily journal. So this is kind of a time that I'm kind of breaking out of my usual format. I'm saying, it's okay. It's okay to just have an image there that represents the day. I don't have to have all the details in. I don't have to, be ultra complete and have this be a huge historical record of my life. At this point, I finally realized I was putting the wrong days on all these, so I'm kind of trying to peel those up. If possible, I salvage it, move it to the right day. There was, I think, a couple that maybe did not survive the peeling up, but that's okay. I usually have plenty of numbers, so I'm just cutting out a new one here for this page, and it all turns out just fine. I was glad I was able to save this magazine, this 7 that I had harvested from a magazine, because I don't know, there's just something about it I really liked. I think maybe the eye on there. So that was fun to use. So I'm just getting everything all back on the right track again here, and then I'll be good to go. These little portraits were also from my April Patreon sheets, and so I just decided I had not used those yet, and I really actually kind of like these a lot, so I just decided this was a good place to put them in. So I kind of like the spread to match or coordinate a little bit, so later I'll choose to use one of these faces on the other side as well. Here I have this new bicycle stamp, and my husband kind of rides bicycles wherever he goes, and so I thought that I could get a lot of use out of that, because I have trouble ever finding enough like bicycle images or bicycle stickers. So this I thought would be a stamp worth investing in, and so I used that on there. And I also have this washi tape, is relatively new, that I was ordering some things from Michael's, and I think it was one of those situations where I need to spend a little bit more to get, the free shipping or something like that, and so I threw in these little washi tapes, and this is the first time I've used them, so that was really fun. I also really like using these journaling blocks. They kind of separate, if you have just something short to say that kind of doesn't, is a different topic than the rest of what you're writing. It's just, I think those are really handy. I knew I had a little thing to mention that wouldn't take long on this page, so I just went ahead and put that journaling block in there. So now that I have the dates all sorted out, I'm getting back on track and just continuing on with getting my images down that I had intended to on the pages. I decided I might like to write just a little bit on this day with the tree, so I just added a couple journaling blocks in there as well. I'm continuing on with some more of Pocket Journal Pam's date dots and my own date on these pages. Here comes that second face illustration on the facing page. Just kind of helps tie the whole spread together and gives them a little bit of unity there. Just finishing up the last little bit on the last couple days that I'm going to do here, and then I will have these pretty well done. I feel good about the preparations that I've made so far. I am adding some cutout letters on here for kind of a title for this page to just kind of explain where I'm at. Someday I'll look back and I won't remember that, so I am just cutting out some simple letters to glue onto this page on top of the tree. I really like using this image as kind of the background. I, probably should do that more when I have images that I really like. I could even print my own photos larger and use those like underneath other things. So that's just kind of a new idea that kind of came out from this session. Again, I'm using my micron pen to kind of outline these letters so they stand out a little bit more and are not lost in the, busy background. So now I'm just going to go back and take a look at the pages that I've done, see if I neglected anything and where I stand, and I think I'm good to go then to carry on another time and finish up these pages.